Alright, YouTube. This deck is both fun and competitive. It's something I actually came up with. Maybe there is something similar out there, but I never net deck. Like, let me say never. I potentially never net deck unless I'm going to an event and I want to see what everybody else is playing in the similar deck, so I can see that's a really good idea. I see why they did that. Why didn't I think of that? Blah blah blah. But this deck was completely creative. I came up with it a while back. I want to say 2 to 3 formats ago. It was supposed to be fun, but then I ended up topping out of locals with it, and I was like, "This is fantastic." But this deck really only had one purpose and one purpose only, and I'll show you later on. I'll show you like as I go through. Let's see. All right. But let's start it off. 3 Traptrix Marmello. Just search for trap. Just search for any trap hole card. Also, when it's special summon, it becomes like an MSC, basically. 3 Dioneas to really just to get this back and go into overlays, whatever. But also, when she's special summon, I can target a trap hole card in my grave, set it. I have to use it that turn or before my next turn. I keep forgetting to do that. Double Mass Chameleons. I played Zombie Master, and this helped me get Zombie Master back. This deck overlays really fast, and a lot. So that's all it is. It is a tuner, so it helped me goes into my 8 stars. Trigodia, mainly just for level manipulation, help me exceed or synchro. 3 Malicious. I played the Malicious, Plague Spreader, nonsense. That's literally all that was in here. So this deck goes into level 8s really fast, and that's how I set up my wins. I go 1 level 8, 2 level 8, and then 3 if it's possible, or going to a 6. Triple Zombie Master, just to recycle Plague. Then 3 Mizukis, just again recycle Plague. It's really just for Plague Spreader. And Ghost Ogre, just because. Like, there's no significant reason. She's adorable. I had no other place to put her, no other deck to think of to put her in, and since I only own 1, so it's like, let me put her in here because this deck is, as of right now, my most competitive deck out of all of them. So, even though I run all the 3 Traptrix, I only run 1 trap in this deck, and that's what makes this so great because with the quickness, if my opponent plays it, they will flip a Royal Decree, and I'm like, that's totally fine. But I play 1 Treacherous, and this real simple. If I open her up, summon, search, set, go. My opponent, if they don't MST it, they go monster first. Pop this, pop that. So now it's done. Then turn 2, I go to Dionea, summon, bring back, pop whatever back row, overlay into whatever. It's really good. But that's the only play. And I don't have the side deck put together now because I have not been playing competitive, like in entering any tournaments. But if I would side, I will side a Treacherous and put in more trap cards, like more was it not Treacherous, time, trap hole, whatever, and things like that. So that's what made it really good, because once I tell them, once they say, oh, I only run 1 trap, they side out their trap hate and side in us. So now, so I side in more traps, so now I have my trap cards to play against. It's really good. Book of Life. And before I go, I know I just told the strategy of that, and it still doesn't matter because nobody's going to remember this. But 3 Book of Life because it's zombie heavy. And it helps me get rid of my opponent's graveyard, since this format is kind of still graveyard based. Forbidden Lands. Not a lot of people play this anymore, but since I do a lot of special summoning, bottomless, and yeah, mainly bottomless, still hurts me. Double Dragon's Mirror, you'll see why. Because it's mainly for the dragon fusion. You don't have to have dragons in your deck. Double MST. I would side in the third. Third will become side. Burials to recycle Plague and Malicious. Mind Control. Night Beam. Third MST. One Mass Change. Because I only have 2 legitimate targets. Because I keep forgetting that Dark Law is a 6-star. Soul Charge. Not a lot of people play it anymore because it's easy to get stuff back from the graveyard, but it's to help start up the cycle. 1 Dark Hole and 1 Foolish. Regeki is in here. It will be in here, but it's currently in another deck. For extra deck, bills. Literally, this deck is meant to just get out bills. This deck was actually built when Bills was released, like maybe a week after Bills was released, because that's when I first got Bills. But it's mainly go Malicious, go Bills first, then do it again. Go into Scrap Dragon first. Scrap effect, target. It attempts to destroy, but this can't be destroyed. So yeah, that's literally what the deck's going to. And if I go into a third one, oh, it's not in the extra deck. I will go into a Stardust. After that, third 8-star will be a Stardust Dragon. So I got Orient Dragon. For the, well, I may take this out with Stardust. Because I was thinking I use it for Clear Wing, but I realized Clear Wing stops this. So Orient is really have no reason to be in here because nobody play Bills anymore, and not a lot of people synchro nowadays. Goyle, you gotta have Goyle. Black Rose for destruction, and Leo just because I can go into it. Castile, 101, Abyss Dweller, Gaga, Laval Chain. Laval Chain is one of the main cards I do go into because turn 1, Dionia, Traptrix, or Mass Chameleon, and Mass Chameleon, Zombie Master Mizuki. Go into this, detach, send Plague, or send Malicious, whichever one is not in my hand. And if neither, I always send Plague first. Because sending Malicious and drawing Malicious is kind of bad, but drawing a second Plague is not horrible. So, go into that. And, Felgrin, because main thing I do is going to 8. And then I go Dark Law and this little guy. This is the reason Dragon's Mirror in here, because I can banish 2 zombie cards, bring this out. So that's the deck. It's really fun. Yeah.